I'm the one who's not used to it. Have a seat. Thanks for coming, too.
First, welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
The things I want to talk to you about, I want to talk to you a little bit about race, your music some too. I thought the song Talking to OJ was particularly powerful. I took the message as you can be rich, you can be poor, you're still black. Who were you speaking to? Who did you want to listen to that and be moved by it?
It's a nuanced song, you know. It's like I'm specifically speaking to us and about who we are and how do you maintain the sense of self while pushing it forward and holding us to have a responsibility for our actions, because in America it is what it is, and there's a solution for us. If we had a power base together, it would be a much different conversation than me having a conversation by myself, trying to change America by myself. If I come with 40 million people, it's a different conversation, right? It's just how it works. I can affect change and get whomever in office because this many people, we're all on the same page. Right, so as a conversation, it's like, I'm not rich, I'm OJ. For us to get in that space and then disconnect from the culture. That's how it starts. This is what happens. And then you know what happened? You're on your own. And you see how that turned out. Okay. That's why
That's the line.
Yeah, the pregnant pause. It's like, okay.
Was it a reminder, too, that the thing OJ forgot, maybe? Is that as rich as he was, as entitled as his life was, he was reminded very forcefully when he became a subject of a racial debate that he was also a black man, whether he accepted that or not.
That's right.
Was it also that message?
Yes, absolutely. And for us, like I'm saying, to speak to that point is, don't forget that, because that's really not the goal. The goal is not to be successful and famous. That's not the goal. The goal is, if you have a specific God-given ability, is to live your life out through that. One. And two, we have a responsibility to push the conversation forward until we're all equal. Until we're all equal on this place, because until everyone's free, no one's free. And that's just the fact.
When you are as amazingly successful as you are, your kids will live in a very different world from the world you grew up in. How do you go about making sure that they understand the world you grew up in?
There's a delicate balance to that, right? Because you have to educate your children on the world as it exists today and how it got to that space. But my child doesn't need the same tools that I needed growing up. I needed certain tools to survive my area that my child doesn't need. They're growing up in a different environment. But also they have to know their history, have a sense of what it took to get to this place, and have compassion for others. The most important thing, I think, out of all this is to teach compassion and to identify with everyone's struggle and to know these people made these sacrifices for us to be where we are and to push that forward for us. I believe that's the most important thing to show them, because they don't have to know things that I knew growing up, like being tough. Like,
do you worry at all that as much as you will teach them history and as much as you yourself are seen as an important figure among black people in America, that there's something they'll be missing? Or do you think that's silly, in fact, that they have so many advantages that's like too negative a way of approaching?
Exactly. Like they'll be who they are, right? And it's just certain tools that you would hope for your child to have. You know, like, again, fairness and compassion and like empathy and a loving heart. And those things translate in any environment. Those are the main base things that you want. Well, for me, I would want my child to have. You know, to treat people as they are, no matter who they are, no matter where they sit in the world. not to like be super nice to someone at a high position or mean to someone who they deem to be below them. I can't buy you love. I can't show it to you. I can show you affection, and I can, I can express love, but I can't put it in your hand.
Right.
I can't put compassion in your hand. I can't show you that.
Right.
So the most beautiful things are things that are invisible. That's where the important things lie.
For me, as a black man of a certain age, when I was a kid, O.J. Simpson was God. I'm
Yeah.
61, so I was a little kid when he was. Do you expect black people and white people and young people and old people to hear different things in your music? I'm sure I heard some things in that song that you may not even have thought of because I'm a different generation. What do you want a young white kid to hear in that song that maybe a young black kid would not hear?
That's a great question. I think when you make music, you want people to hear it and hear different things, and then you want it to start a dialogue, because that's how we get to understand it. Excuse me. Oh, you felt that way about it. This is actually what I meant, because this happened and these things happened that led to me saying this specific thing.
How did you react when that one line in that song where you referred to Jews and wealth? Some people got upset.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
I felt it was really hypocritical. Only because, it's obvious the song is like, you want to be rich, do what people who got rich done. Of course, it's a general statement, right? It's obviously a general statement. Like the video attached to it was a general statement. And if you didn't have a problem with the general statement I made about black people and people eating watermelon and things like that, if that was fine, and that line about wealth bothered you, then that's very hypocritical. And, that's something within yourself. Because basically I was saying, Michael Jordan, LeBron James is a great basketball player. He trains in the off season. If you want to be great, train in the off season like him. I'm open to dialogue and fixing this. That's ideal, but it's still happening in a good way, because you can't have a solution until you start dealing with the problem. What you reveal, you heal. Right? If I have like a tumor and I ignore it, doesn't mean it goes away. I have to diagnose it first. No matter how it happens. If I get hit with a football and like, oh, I feel something there, and then I go to the doctor, it still happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So however it happens, and we just get hit with a lot of football.
Right.
To use an analogy that goes next to the NFL.
Yeah. If you were an owner, you would sign Colin Kaepernick, right?
Yeah, I dedicated the story of OJ to him at Nettles concert.
Have you met him?
No, we just had dialogue over the
that's
phone. We told him to get together.
Do you have any doubt that if this not had happened, he would be signed by a team?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think basketball is more politically active than football players?
Yeah.
And why? Why is that?
I think, first of all, it's smaller numbers. There's 12 people on the team.